Okay, so I know you have been hearing stories since morning, so I'm not here to share my story. I know Google is with us. We all have our social media profiles. You can easily Google me. You'll find more details about me. I'm here to talk about something much more important. 1 year, especially last 6 months, it has been a depressing time in India. Has anyone noticed that? Yeah? So what do you think? What has been the depression? Demonetization. Was it really depression? Not really. You have got so much of money in the banks. GST. Why has all that happened? Do you know that? Not because of Modi, because of you guys. Because Modi was probably concerned about you. Absolutely. So you know what has been happening, and you know where the world is going and where India is going. But everything is coming to an end for the start of a new future. And the future is you guys. So I wanted to share some important statistics with you about what's happening, where are we headed, where is the world headed, and where you guys should be. So first of all, you know about our population. I don't need to tell you about that. Do you know about the literacy rate in India? It's about 74% across the country. This has grown drastically, 57% growth post-independence when British left us. But the interesting fact is, literacy rate between 15 and 21, which is the age group in which you guys are falling, is above 90%. And that is expected to go to 98%. However, the concern is jobs. So today I got this topic from Sumir. How can 1 million youngsters collectively create 10 million jobs? And I want you guys to really think about it. We are not here to build another Facebook, another Amazon. We know the world has been transforming. We know trade is changing. We know our professions are changing. But we are there to do something more substantial. And today, I want you to question the white-collar jobs for which we studied, expecting we'll get a job as we graduate, but do we actually get a job? Have we been getting jobs? What has been the placement track record is something which needs our attention. Now, I want you to go slightly reverse way and think about yourself as a person who's without a job and who's given the opportunity to create a job. Do you think each of you can create 10 jobs or at least 9 jobs? Or is that a difficult task? Do you think you can be your own entrepreneur? Or do you think you want to work for someone? Now, if I share some more interesting statistics, and that's when you'll get to know why demonetization happened. So in India, an average salary after you graduate is about 15 to 20,000 rupees. This is without a master's degree. If you actually employ 10 people under you, you end up paying 2 lakh rupees of salary to them. If there are 1 million of you who do that, 2 lakh rupees of salary is a month, which means 1 million of you create about 24 lakh rupees of salaries each, multiplied by 1 million people. Do the math. Does anyone have that number? No one has that number. That's why I was saying, be attentive, and I'm going to check your mental maths. It turns out to be 2,40,000 crore rupees. That's the kind of impact you guys can make by just creating 9 to 10 jobs. It can be by doing anything. It can be by writing. It can be by selling something. It can be by setting up a process. It can be anything. You don't need to think about building the next billion-dollar enterprise. You got to just think about creating 9 to 10 jobs. If you do so, that's going to be impactful. So I'll give you a bit of history about myself now. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 16. So I'm a borderline graduate. I started my first company when I was still in high school, and I was always concerned about this problem. You know, I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to earn good money. I wanted to be a millionaire. But was it easy? I started my first venture. Took me 3 years to actually even create a single job. Took me 3 years to even get my first check. And then what next? After 3 years, I started another company, lost all of that money. I was like, shit, what do you do? I went bankrupt. Post that, I realized it's not being millionaire what you got to aim for. You got to be thinking about something beyond money. You got to be thinking about the society. You got to be thinking about doing something good. You got to be doing that with full commitment and passion, and that's exactly what I did. I started my rest of the ventures with that commitment, with that passion. I was able to create an impact. About 6 years back, I got an opportunity to start supporting other entrepreneurs. How do I do that? I would go college to college, organize events to inspire people to start up. I would give them a platform. I'll tell them, hey, stage is open. Why don't you come forward, pitch an idea? You never know. It might be the next big idea. Over a period of time, I would say over 3 years, at least 10,000 people pitched at my events. About 1,000 companies were born. Each of them probably creating 8 to 10 jobs eventually. But more than that, I was given an opportunity to build a support system for them. So I started building co-working spaces at that point of time. At each of the co-working space, my aim was to foster people like you, shelter them, provide them support so that they are able to work on their ideas. Over a period of time, what happened? It was all without money, without any support, without any partners, all by myself. As I started building the in 6 years, built about 6 spaces, as Sumir said, all sustaining on their own, each of them becoming profitable in 5th to 6th month of their operations. Each of that space creating at least 5 to 6 for support staff. But beyond that, each of them shelters about 70 to 80 people. As a result of that, today, the entire network has about 450 to 500 people. These 500 people within themselves run about 60 companies, and they do a cumulative turnover of about $6 million every year. That's the impact which you guys can create. Now I'll narrate you another example, why I did that. So 6 years back, this was 2011 end, I was operating a place in Greater Kailash 1 in New Delhi. And I got a hippie youngster. He was just 18, probably 17, looking for a job. He was with his backpack, needed a job because he wanted a place to stay. And my space provided that facility. As I met him, obviously I didn't hire him because I found him to be too young, but he pitched an idea to me, which sounded cool. And eventually he ended up living there. Got some support. He was able to, because he had the exposure around himself with all the like-minded people, he started his company. You'll be surprised to know that guy ended up starting up Oyo Rooms, Ritesh Agarwal. Second guy. There were three more people who came to my space. in the year 2000, I think 13. These guys had just quit their job, and they said, we are trying to restructure the blue-collared working environment, which is we'll provide handyman services to people. We'll try to provide additional source of livelihood to people. I was like, OK, idea sounds good. What's your deal? They said, we need space, but we cannot afford it. We are 3 founders. We have limited capital. So we rented them our dining table so that they could work on their ideas. And this company started their operations from this dining table. And one day, on this dining table, they started figuring out the name of their company. Guess which company can that be? Any guesses? That was Urban Clap. Yep. So that's the impact. Today, Urban Clap all alone has about 60,000 skilled workers on their platform who earn anywhere between 20,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees a month. And these were the same people who used to make anywhere between 7,000 to 12,000 rupees a month. So an Urban Clap all alone is able to create a job for at least 60,000 people and a revenue of about $120 million every year. You can be the next person. You can be doing the same thing, or you can do a smaller setup. Whatever you decide to do, you got to just start from somewhere. And I think the place to start up is your campus. And it's time for us to tell the world that, yes, we can, and we will make it happen. Thank you.